Have you ever launched a usability test only to realize halfway through that you're asking the wrong questions, or testing the wrong features, or talking to the wrong users? That's exactly what happens when you don't plan your usability tests. Hi, my name is Alex and welcome to UX Tweaks channel. Today we're breaking down usability testing plans. What exactly are they? Why do you need one? And what should you include to run an effective study? Let's get into it. So, why is it important to actually plan your usability testing? It might seem that simply setting up the studies and sending links to participants will suffice, but in reality, things are a bit different. Without a clear, properly formulated plan, usability testing becomes unfocused. You might test the wrong features, ask biased questions, or not ask the relevant ones, recruit unsuitable participants, or miss critical issues entirely. Creating a usability testing plan forces you to clarify your research objectives. It helps you double check whether the way you formulated your tasks doesn't introduce bias. It helps identify potential issues like realizing your target audience is too broad or your tasks don't align with real user goals. Simply put, with a usability testing plan, your research gains structure, which makes it more effective. So, what is a usability plan? A usability testing plan is a strategic document that outlines everything about your upcoming usability study. It defines your research goals, target participants, testing methodology, tasks, success metrics, and logistics of the study. Think of it as your study's blueprint. It ensures everyone on your team understands what you're testing, why you're testing it, and how you'll measure success. The plan keeps your research focused, your stakeholders aligned, and your findings relevant. Let's go through the main areas you have to consider while planning a usability test. First, research objectives. Write a list of everything you are trying to discover in the study. Then, prioritize your objectives to keep the study short enough so that participants don't get overwhelmed. I advise you to keep your studies to under 30 minutes. And keep in mind, whatever it is you're trying to test should be measurable. For example, let's say you're redesigning an e-commerce app. You might have many questions, such as, can users find products? Do they understand filters? Can they complete checkout? Do they trust the payment process? And so on. That's too much for one study. Instead, prioritize based on your goal. If it's increasing conversions, focus on checkout. Create tasks that would help measure how many participants can complete a purchase and where they might drop off in the checkout flow. The second step is identifying your target participants. Try to understand what characteristics actually influence users' behavior in relation to your product. This might be demographic details like their location or occupation, or it could be something more specific to your target audience, such as trip planning habits for a travel app. You can also use your user personas and include them in your plan as a basis for recruitment. You also have to decide on the number of participants you'd like to have and consider recruitment costs. Will you be recruiting people from an existing user database or investing in a participant panel? Will you be able to find 10 or 20 participants for your study? The third step is to think about the study setup. Will you run moderated or unmoderated tests, remote or in person? Remote unmoderated studies are usually cheaper, and it is easier to recruit for such studies where people can participate at their convenience. As a trade-off, they require more careful preparation. Moderated or in-person studies, on the other hand, allow you to be more flexible with how you're collecting feedback, which could help you gather additional user insights. The fourth step, draft your tasks. The tasks you create should be specific, realistic, and measurable. For each task, make a clear connection to what it helps evaluate or what study goal it is connected to. For example, if you're testing a checkout process, your task can be, you are buying a pair of running shoes, your budget is $150. Find a pair you like and complete the purchase using the provided test credit card. Finally, establish success metrics. Consider metrics such as task completion rate, time on task, error rate, and satisfaction scores like the SUS score. When you have all the main aspects ready, you can also add helpful details to your usability testing plan. For example, mention all the people involved in the research as well as their roles and contact information. Specify when each testing session is going to take place and try to estimate how long it will take. Don't forget to add a date when the project started, when it's supposed to be finished, as well as any deadlines. A good usability testing plan keeps your research focused and your findings credible. Remember, the time you spend planning is not wasted. It helps you gather better insights. And if you need a good usability testing tool, make sure to check out UX Tweak's website, Usability Testing Tool. The link is in the description. Like and subscribe to watch more videos on all things UX related. See you next time.